Towards the end of 1999, the United Nations declared the cusp of a new millennium, a unique and symbolically compelling moment for member states to articulate and affirm an animating vision for the United Nations in the new era. This served as a call to the leaders of UN member states to begin shaping a new identity and niche for the international organization, primarily by bringing international civil society into the mainstream of UN programs and operations. Recognition of the importance of civil society to the revitalization of the UN led to the formulation of the Millennium Development Goals. As part of civil society, the mass media have been pinpointed as vital partners in the realization of these goals through their ability to inform, inspire, and encourage public consent and support for, contribution to, and participation in their implementation. The Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, arose from two important declarations: the We the People's Millennium Forum Declaration and Agenda for Action, strengthening the United Nations for the 21st century, and the Millennium Summit Declaration. The first document was the result of the Millennium Forum held in May 2000 at the call of United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan to precede the Millennium Assembly planned by the UN. Penned by NGOs and civic organizations, the Forum Declaration contains their common vision in light of the challenges facing the developing world, encapsulated in 6 key goals. These were the direct predecessors of the MDGs. The Millennium Summit Declaration, adopted by the UN General Assembly in September 2000, was ratified by the heads of government of 189 member states of the UN. It affirms their shared values and principles, with objectives for adopting these values and principles in the global community to address poverty as a pressing global development change. It contains 8 specific goals, now referred to as the Millennium Development Goals, to be executed in a synchronized effort to overcome hindrance to development in poor countries. Eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. Achieve universal access to primary education. Promote gender equality and empower women. Reduce child mortality. Improve maternal health. Combat HIV/AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. Ensure environment sustainability. Develop a goal partnership for development. Under each goal are specific measurable targets to be accomplished by a certain date. Most MDGs should be met by year 2015. The MDGs recognize the attainment of development amongst poor societies by promoting the interests of the people. The program entails a global commitment to be undertaken by member countries. As Jeffrey Sachs, project director of the UN Millennium Project, asserts, in many of the poorest countries, the goals are ambitious but mainly achievable with intensive efforts by all parties. Part of the UN strategy for promoting the Millennium Development Goals is to support an international awareness campaign and foster similar undertakings on a local level. Each country has lined up specific activities which can then place the MDGs at the center of national debates and action on priorities, policies, and resource allocations. In the Philippines, the MDGs mirror the 10-point pro-poor legacy agenda of the Arroyo administration, articulated in the Medium-Term Philippine Development Plan, MTPDP 2004 to 2010. Likewise, the 2010 targets in the plan are aligned and consistent with the MDG targets by 2015. The framework of the United Nations Millennium Development Goals operate in the context of the social marketing theory. Social marketing espouses community participation to be able to build local awareness and ownership. The attainment of MDGs requires a strong advocacy for national ownership and sustained action to operationalize the goals and targets, especially at the local level. The strategies that are being adopted to achieve these goals have been tailored and adjusted to socio-cultural contexts and morals, just as social marketing concedes that for a program to succeed, it must not go against the traditional beliefs and behaviors of the target audience. By way of an example, in order to carry out goal number 5 in the Philippines, the Department of Health anchored its program on two-pronged strategy involving safe motherhood and family planning services, specifically through the natural family planning method. Such strategies fall within the cultural context acceptable to most Filipinos, particularly Catholics who do not espouse artificial contraceptives. Social marketing is a two-way process, and it is genuinely concerned about community participation. Inputs from targeted communities gathered through qualitative methods such as focus groups and in-depth interviews are fundamental to design campaign activities and content. Social marketing is premised on the idea of mutual exchange between agencies and communities. The Philippines' MDG Action Plan includes activities aimed at increasing the level of appreciation of the broader public on the MDGs. Marketing takes a consumer orientation by assuming that the success of any intervention results from an accurate evaluation of perceptions, needs, and wants of target markets that inform the design, communication, pricing, and delivery of appropriate offerings. The process is consumer-driven, not expert-driven. Individuals, groups, and organizations are not forced to participate, but are offered the opportunity to gain certain benefits. The Philippine business sector recognized the fundamental interest in achieving the MDGs. It has a stake in social stability and prosperity. Thus, companies belonging to the Philippine Business for Social Progress allied its corporate social responsibility, or CSR, projects to the MDGs. The MDGs were clustered into four major areas of focus: poverty, education, health, and environment. These clusters correspond to the four major areas where business heavily invests socially. It was business consensus to work closely with partners in MDG achievement such as government, civil society groups, church leaders, business groups, media and funding agencies like the Asian Development Bank, World Bank, and the International Financial Corporation. The Philippines Legislative Branch has formed a special committee on MDGs to study and act upon all bills, resolutions, privileged speeches, and petitions referred to it and recommend for approval of the House of Representatives and the Senate pertaining to or in pursuit of the MDGs. Social marketing's emphasis is not so much on getting ideas out or transforming attitudes, but influencing behavior. Unlike commercial marketing, which is not concerned with the social consequences of its actions, the social marketing model centers on communication campaigns designed to promote socially beneficial practices or products in a target group which the MDGs aim to inculcate to the public.